A commonly used reliability analysis technique is FMEA, Failure Mode Effects Analysis. Sometimes there's a C in there which stands for criticality, which would be a FMEA, but they're basically the same idea. The idea is you start with a component failure, you analyze the results of that component failure, and you identify the hazards that can result from that component failure, and optionally you add in a criticality, meaning how bad is the problem. FMEAs work with a table that lists the various aspects of the analysis. For example, we have a resistor R2 and a potential failure mode is open, fails open. In other words, there's no electrical current. If you look at how the system is designed, you might decide that's going to trigger a system shutdown. And you might decide a recommended action is to use a better resistor that is less likely to fail because this is low criticality, non-catastrophic failure. And if you're tracking an FMEA, you might keep a status that says, all right, that mitigation has been done. Most components have more than a single failure mode. So that same resistor might fail short, meaning it fails with the current going through with no resistance. In the particular system example here, that might result in an overcurrent or a potential fire. And that might be unacceptable because it's high criticality, so you might need a circuit redesign. And apparently in this particular project, that hasn't been done yet. Every component in the system needs to have one or more rows in this table, so there's a lot of rows in this table. Capacitor C7 might have a failure mode of it explodes, and this really happens to some types of capacitors. The failure effect might be a potential fire, and you might need to pick a different capacitor technology to eliminate the possibility of that failure. FMEAs have significant limitations. In addition to being a very, very big table, they're pretty hardware-centric. They work great for resistors and capacitors and components where it's pretty simple to enumerate some specific failure modes, and often you have the probability as well, so you know how often it's likely to happen. But complex components are not that well behaved. For example, the failure mode for software in the worst case is it fails however it wants to fail. There's no way you can credibly say, well, software will either crash or compute perfectly. Software has bugs, weird things happen. That's just not a credible failure mode. Integrated circuit chips, such as CPUs, are so complex that there's really no credible way to know what all the failure modes are. Even if you look at them on a component-by-component basis in the schematic, you're not accounting for the fact that the wires between the components cross-couple with each other in completely unpredictable ways unless you do a layout analysis. So these types of things, FMEAs are just not that good at. They're also poor at representing correlated and accumulated faults. For example, if a capacitor explodes and it damages several nearby components, an FMEA is not going to expose that because the FMEA assumes one component at a time fails and figures out the results. So that means that FMEAs are pretty good for hardware reliability, but they're not particularly useful for any of the more complex safety critical issues.